We're recording. We're good to go. Hi, hello. Welcome to my hot mess life. It's fine. We're gonna get real with some love tonight. So we actually had a different plan for tonight. I know you've seen like it. What did we say it was called? Mirror or something? We were gonna talk about what M talked about on her live. That was literally what we had planned. So then she went live and of course worded it 10,000 times better than we probably could have, but so we're just gonna go with it, whatever's on our heart. I mean, we have an idea of what we're gonna talk about, but we're just gonna run with it. I don't know, Tom. So, do you want to start, Kiana? No? Okay. So, I want to start with the usual. You know what to do. You know what you're supposed to be doing every day. So, I don't know. Go find it.
Go find it.
I'm not finding it. I'm sorry, y'all. You know what you're supposed to be doing every day, right? We didn't need M to tell us that, but we all related to her video, right? And the thing is, we might be doing all the things, but we're overcomplicating a lot of it. So I'm just gonna get real tonight with all the love, and tell you now is not the time to be figuring out Canva, okay? Now is not the time to be using all the freaking apps and making perfect stories, but you haven't even posted in 5 days. Okay? If you're only posting in your stories and you're not posting on your page, nobody's seeing it because you're not on nobody's algorithm. You're not. They don't even know who you are. Why do they want to look at your stories? They don't want to know the behind the scenes because they don't even see the front of the scenes. I'm going to beat her. You have to make this make sense. We preach core 4 because, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You can't talk to the same people over and over again. You're not going to get in front of the same group of people and do a presentation 50,000 times. They either want in or they don't. They're either going to order your products or they're not. So if you're not adding people and you're talking to the same people over and over again, you're wasting your time. They don't want it or they don't have the money and they're not motivated enough. So move on. If you are, and the same thing with customers, if you are chasing the same people over and over again and you're only doing follow-ups to people that just, again, are just not ready, then you're wasting your time talking to those people and building relationships with people that just don't even, I don't want to say they don't matter, but I mean, in this season, they don't matter. You have to constantly be talking to new people every day. If Kiana didn't want to join me, then she just didn't want to join me. I'm not about to go to her house every day and be like, dude, no, you should join me. She don't want to. I'm going to leave it at that. I've had more conversations in the last few days with potential promoters that are like, okay, how do I sign up? Than I have with the same people I've been beating for months. Because they're still like, well, I'm scared. Okay, you was scared 6 months ago.
Why are you scared?
Are you not ever going to be not scared? No. We have to do it scared. So it's the same thing with your business.
Mama.
You know, it's just like if Janie came to me.
Mama, why are you scared?
Why am I scared?
Yeah.
I'm not scared. I'm just talking about somebody else. It's the same thing because I know Janie won't care if I say her name. But it's the same thing if Janie came to me today and was like, I don't know what my story is. But then in 6 months, she was like, I still don't know what my story is. What have you been doing for 6 months? You've been in this business for 2 years, and why do you still not know anything? Well, how do you still not know how to post? How do you watch we have trainings for everything. If you sit and tell me you don't know how to post, if you don't know how to do stories, you don't know how to do this, we for real have freaking trainings on everything. I have made default opportunity stories and customer stories for you to literally pull it up on Instagram and paste your picture on it. So you're telling me you can't even do that? Okay, you don't want it, and that's fine. You're just not in. I'm sorry, she's loud. You're just not in it, and that's fine. I'm not here to tell you you need to be or you have to be. I'm just telling you, you can't come to me and say, well, I don't know this and I don't know that. That's your fault because I know it. And it's not because I'm any smarter than you, because I can tell you that I'm not. And I can tell you that I'm a hot freaking mess. But when things need to be done, they need to be done. Now is not the time to try and learn new skills and learn new tips and learn all these things. It's the time to implement the things that we know how to do. If you don't know how to do stories, then okay, throw up bare minimum for now, but then go live on your page. Like, y'all literally know what to do. And I'm not mad. I'm not irritated with nobody. I'm just saying, like, this doesn't even go towards anybody that I've even had one-on-ones with. Like, this is just a thing because we see it in the chats every day. I don't know what my story is. Why not? Do you not know yourself? Do you not know who you are, where you came from?
Mama,
Would you chill? Okay, please get down. Go play. I can't sit here and tell you, well, I probably could tell you Kiana's story, but you know what I mean? Like, I can't sit here and tell you Shakira's whole life story. Only she can do that. So she can't come to me and say, hey, I don't know what to post. I don't know what my story is. I don't know your story either, bruh. Only you do. I can't pull it out of you. Only you can do that. I know Kiana will go into all that, but you are, I know we say this all the time. You're probably tired of it. You are the key to anything that you want. You just have to take the initiative. You just have to stop overcomplicating it. And then we're here to check you a little bit. If we see you off your game, if you're struggling, we're absolutely there. Vent to whatever. But I can't tell you over and over what to do. You know what to do. And you're not in competition with anyone. I don't want you looking at me and thinking, oh, her stories are prettier or whatever. Okay, I already knew how to do that. I've been doing this for years. That's the difference. You can't compare your story or your journey to someone else. Y'all don't even know my full story. Guess what? I'm still in a learning process too, and I don't post it as much as I should. And I knew, but I didn't realize that. And that's what the trainings are for. We don't get on here to preach and say, you know, here's this and this and try to be repetitive, because I don't like a repetitive training. But sometimes someone can say something differently and it's like, oh, okay, I get that. That's where I was misstepping. That's where I was overcomplicating it. But I say this with the most love ever. I'm telling you, this is not against any person, but you have to figure it out. Or stop figuring it out. There's no strategy. There's no strategy. There's no game plan and no strategy to get to 12K. It's the same actions that you're taking every day. I could post, I guarantee if I posted for tonight that I had a game plan to get to 80K in 90 days, everybody in the freaking team page would be on here, right? Because they think I'm going to give them something to where they can like copy and paste my success or Brittany's success or whatever and make it happen. But you already have it in you. Your story matters whether you think about it or not. When you open up and tell parts of, you're more relatable than I am with people. The fact that your check may have covered your gas this week, that's more relatable than, oh, I went and spent $200 at Target. I didn't. Just let me say that in case my husband watches this. But it's more relatable for you to be able to say, I paid my bill or I did this, than for me to say, oh, yeah, I got a $5,000 bonus. People are going to be like, okay, yeah, no, I don't know about all that. They're paying attention to the people talking about the gas and the background that they came from. And I've even had girls that are like, well, I don't want to talk about, you know, all this money and this and that, but I live in a bad part of the neighborhood. Girls, share that. I'm not saying you have to put all your business out there, but that's you being relatable to others, because I guarantee there's other mamas out there that want out of the bad area too. That's relatable. Mama, that's Mama, how people follow along your journey and see, Mama, oh yeah, I remember when she used to chill out. Mama. I remember when she used to talk about how she lived in a bad neighborhood and then now look at her. She's just bought this beautiful house or whatever. Will you move out my way? I'm telling y'all are gonna see the real mom tonight. I'm telling you, I'm not that, oh, please move. And I'm not that mama. I'm telling you right now. But yeah. I just want you to, exactly, the small wins are the big ones. no matter how small it is for you, no matter what you're going through in life, there are people that relate to that. Okay, Kiana, you want to go ahead? Because my child's about to get beat, I promise you.
Yeah, I can. And I did see the message from, was it Jessica, that said that you wanted to say something before the Zoom was over. So I'll definitely, once I get finished, if you want to just like unmute and start talking, that's fine. So I just want to go in more to the story part. So first of all, I had to do a complete like 180 in business and completely kind of not unplug, because I was still in the times that we were doing like work with me's and stuff. I was replaying old trainings. I know I talked to one of my girls today who said she was starting from scratch in unit 1. And I do highly recommend that. Like, start from scratch if you feel like you're spinning your wheels. Reevaluate your daily routine. Maybe you need to switch up when you do your IPAs or what order you do them in. Are you only picking up a book because we have a book club and you're reading the chapters that we're going to go over this week and that's it? You're not reading any other book. You're not listening to anything. You're not diving into anything. Are you on the work with me trainings and you get your IPAs done, but it's the only time that you're even doing them? Or it's the only type of training that you're listening to? Because I've really been vibing with like Courtney Glaser's trainings, and just the way that she kind of like speaks, I guess. I missed you too. But I've just been, I don't even want to call it behind the scenes, because I've actually had more conversations. Like, I don't remember what day it was last month, but I sent Krista a screen recording of my conversations because my enrollments don't match that. But it's because I'm not following up. I'm starting new conversations. I'm not using, but kind of like using my pregnancy and stuff like that to spark up conversation. And then people are asking me questions. I'm literally starting from scratch, like no prior message history. So it's going to take a while for me to build that back up. And I'm completely content with that. I'm so fine with that. The fact that I could like spin my inbox like the thing on The Price is Right, like I was lit over that. Like, I'm fine with that. If I don't have a single enrollment, I'm cool with having that many conversations. And it's people swiping up on my stories on Instagram. It's my Facebook Messenger. It's everything. So I've not necessarily been behind the scenes, but I have been more focused on me and what I want to share and my energy and showing up than making sure I'm on every work with me. Because chances are I've already done my work before I've gotten on the work with me. So if I'm on there, it's just to be supportive. I'm already having conversations. I know Britt was asking people, like, did you have 5 conversations? And I went through and counted, and I did. So I'm kind of like making sure all the questions are answered. That's what we were initially supposed to talk about. Like Krista said, how M was saying, like, she jumps in the chat, sees if there's any questions. I kind of see get people on Thrive as my main focus, period. Exactly. So, and I mean, everybody's talking about that right now. Like, do you even know what that means? Do you know what it means to get people on Thrive? Are you actually like talking to people, or are you working when you're on a work with me and that's it? And putting your phone, and if you're putting your phone down, that's fine, but you're not like working, you're not putting content out, you're not attracting people, you're not diving into anything. And like I said, even if it's personal, maybe you're doing all the work things, but you kind of feel like this hole, like in your heart, in your chest, you know, that's from the fact that you don't pick up a book, besides because we have a book club. You see what I mean? Like, a lot of us, I mean, I'd say majority of us do read outside of that book club or whatever, but you see what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is, you know what you're not doing or what doesn't sit well with you or feel good. This is your business. So do what feels good for you, because it leads to more inspired content. It leads to you being okay with making stories. Like, I've actually used some old stories of mine that I went through my highlights to see what had the most views in the past and what had like polls on it and stuff like that. And I started pulling those and reusing those. And in exchange, I went from, I think I had like 2 reels total to doing 5 last week. Like, I'm consistently doing reels because I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy with the way that I show up. I'm happy with the number of people who are messaging me from my stories, from the content that I'm putting out. And I don't have to, and I'm not saying like don't post every day, but like Instagram, the way that the algorithms work, I've been trying to dive more into what's the best thing right now to do. And sometimes it's not posting every single day. Sometimes it's making sure that you have 4 to 7 reels up this week. Sometimes it's making sure that you've got 2 Instagram TVs up this week. So I may not have posted today, but I've got 5 reels saved as drafts to use the rest of the week. See what I'm saying? Like, I had to kind of switch it up so that I didn't get burnt out, so that I wasn't spinning my wheels, so that it actually like felt good to me, said F algorithms. Right. But you know what I mean? Like making sure that your stuff is being visible and stuff like that. So sometimes it's not just trying to post every single day and that's all that you're doing and you've put up one reel on your whole Instagram. That's what's taking over. Exactly. That's what's taking over is reels and stuff. So just moving away from that though, like just figure out what it is. Like it's your business. Figure out what it is. Is it that you are comfortable going live and that's fine for you, but you don't post and you don't make stories because you go live and you're more comfortable with that? Switch it up and go live. Not even necessarily like, oh, just get uncomfortable. It's like, what is that thing for you? Are you perfectly fine getting all your business things done, but then you're just missing something? Open a book, run a bath, like do something for you this week. And I promise you, like once you do get your fire back, I have been telling Krista, I'm like, last spring when I promoted, it was not intentional. It was not like I finally put my Christina, light a candle, you already know. When I put my core 4 together, that was like the strategy behind my 12K. But other than that, like core 4, which y'all all know how to do, I had to learn the hard way and figure it out. And we laid out the roadmap for you. It was more like I was just fired up. I was excited. I was getting people on Thrive, like Jason and Paul said. I was getting samples in people's hands. I was following up with them. I was keeping up with when the samples went out and when to talk to them and always talking to new people. The conversations for real on my messenger last spring and last summer were, hey, what are those products? I'm trying to lose weight or whatever. And then me responding and then them responding and then us talking about price and then them ordering. There was no like follow up. There was no convincing. There was no chasing. There was nothing. Like there was none of that. It was all just very direct and back and forth, but it was my energy behind it. It was the energy that I was putting out into the universe on my own, not even on social media, just my own prayer, my own alignment. And then it was also being conveyed what I was putting out on my social media, what I was saying in lives, what I was saying in my stories, the content that I was creating. So that's kind of what I had to go back to. I had to go back and look at that content. I had to go back and see what it was. So maybe you're newer, you need to go back and look at what your enroller was posting whenever you first became interested. Not copy their post, but just the energy behind it. So if you don't have that like light your fire energy right now, see what you can do to get it back. If you need to ask somebody. If you need to read a book, if you need to, I don't know, like we just said, take a bath, light a candle, whatever it is. But that feeling is such an amazing feeling. Like it's indescribable. Like I cannot tell you. Krista knows what I've been through the past couple months. And I was just kind of like, okay, I need to like close my mouth and kind of pull back a little bit and get my energy in here right. And then put that out there. And once I did, like I said, I don't have to be loud about it in order to have an inbox full of people. And I'm starting from scratch. And it feels so much better to start from scratch with conversations with no prior message history and knowing I have to like talk to these people for a little bit than it does sending follow-ups to the people before. Like Krista said, they're not ready. They're never going to be ready. I've already weeded through those first like 18 months of business. I've already weeded through my inboxes. The people who are going to join and buy and order and buy samples or refer people or whatever already have. The rest of those people who say they're going to join on Friday and then never do and always have excuses, that's the numbers game. The ones who are going to join already joined. So it's time to make sure that I'm making new connections. And that's where I was having my disconnect. I thought because I had this long list of follow-ups, I was good. I didn't need to make new connections. So it took me, people you talked to are watching, exactly. It took me time to connect that and make those connections and I guess build those relationships like face to face on my stories and stuff like that before new people started to reach out. And then those people that have been talking to me, like Britt said, they're watching. They're going to see me enrolling all these new people and bringing people in and people starting on the products and stuff like that. And then they'll come around. But I'm not having to like just deal with this like small pool of people. I started talking to new people. So the other thing I want to talk about was just your story. There was somebody who commented on M's live that said something about the story. I don't know if it was something on our team, a different team. I don't know. And Brittany, you told me that with one of the promos that I earned, the goat one, like the first goat one, I feel like. And for real, I earned it. I don't know if Krista remembers that, but for real, Brittany told me like the more you chase a butterfly, the more it runs away. And I'm like, say less. Not about to chase that butterfly. Butterfly's gonna come to me, and guess what? Like I earned it. So just a side note, that's very true. But somebody said something, I don't remember who it was and what exactly she said or what exactly I said, but it just made me want to talk about your story. She said, like, it was something along the lines of, how do I make my story more appealing? And so I had to respond, and I was just like, your story is appealing because it's you, it's true, it's real. So, I mean, there is no way. So, and then one of my girls, she's on here actually, we had a one-on-one and we talking about your struggles. I don't care who you are, you have struggled with something. It might be your own version of the struggle versus someone else's version of the struggle. There might be levels to the struggle, but everybody struggles. So I want you to think about like 3 to 5 or like 4 times, not just your fives and all that. Think about 4 times that you felt very low. You felt broken, even just stressed, anxious. Like, it doesn't have to be that you were just like broken, like homeless somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it could just be that you were super anxious. And whatever those 4 things are, like, just choose 4. We're just going to run with 4. Whatever those 4 things are, there are like thousands of people for the first one, thousands of people who can relate to the second one, thousands of people for the third one, thousands of people for the fourth one. And what one of me and my girls on our one-on-one, what we were talking about was the levels to it. Like, your struggle might be that it might have to do with your government assistance, or your struggle might just be, look, we make good money. My husband makes good money, but you want a new couch. You need a new bed. Little things like that. Maybe all your bills are paid. There's people, that you might be able to relate to if you're one of those that has struggled in the past to keep your lights on, to keep a roof over your head, to pay for car maintenance. Like, yesterday, I was sitting at the Nissan dealership like, wow, I literally almost did not have a car before I started this business because I could not afford the car paint or the car repairs. Now I take my car in and literally all of it's covered under the warranty. Besides normal maintenance, tires, brakes, and oil change. Other than tires, brakes, and oil change, anything wrong with my car is fixed for free. Do you know how many people experience that? Not very many. Even normal, like, working class people, you know what I mean? Like, don't experience that. And I can trade my car up in a couple years and start it all over again if I wanted to not have to like deal with car repairs. And it just made me think, like, so many people spend their entire tax return on car repairs. Or really what happens is your car breaks down right before you get your taxes is what actually happens. It don't even wait until you got the money. It just breaks down before then and you need a whole new car. You need a whole new transmission. Those things that you think are super small, like, I'm sitting right here looking at the closet that's in my living room where our toilet paper is. Being able to afford toilet paper and other toiletries. Toilet paper and all toiletries, those trips cost a lot of money. I don't care what anybody says. It costs a lot of money for laundry soap, toiletries, and all that. Talk about that if you can't talk about anything else. If you make good money, you like your job, your husband makes good money, whatever it is, I guarantee it would probably break you to buy a brand new washer and dryer right now, to buy a living room set, to buy a bedroom set, to upgrade your TVs, not to mention big things like moving and, cars and stuff. Talk about those things. Find 4 things in your entire life, even if they had to do with someone that you know, your childhood, 4 things out of your entire life that you've struggled with. And like I said, it could be on the spectrum of broke and things like that, all the way just to anxious. Like, it could just be that you were anxious about how much it was going to cost. You had the money or you had a credit card or whatever for a new washer and dryer. You were just anxious about how much it was going to cost, how much a certain repair was going to be. Your car started making a noise. You have a little bit of money, but you were anxious about it. You're comfortable, but you want to. Me and Krista, we talk about this all the time. Just switching up your aesthetic of your house can make you feel so good. But if you can't afford to do that, that's the problem. I know Krista manifested a new dining table for the longest. And then she was just like, I want a new rug. And then a couple weeks later, boom, she had a nice new rug. And if you're an adult, you know how much rugs cost. Like, something like that can make someone so happy, though, to be able to change up the way that their living room looks, or the way that their bedroom looks, or their kids' rooms, or redoing like a small project in their bathroom or their kitchen. See what I'm saying? Like, things like that. And like how we talk about Krista talks about having somebody come clean her house. Something that small. You don't have to be like on the actual struggle bus to be able to relate to people in that struggle type of way. And I think when we use that word, we automatically assume that if we've not been like broken down in the mud somewhere, like that we can't relate to people. And it's like, no, there's something that stresses you out. Like rich people get stressed, middle class get stressed, poor people get stressed. It's just all different types of stress. So find 4 things in your life, and that's what you're going to create your stories about. That's what you're going to create your posts about. So yes, you have your 5 things and stuff, but if you've been struggling with that, move back and talk about those 4, like what they call pain points, struggles, whatever, and see what types of people relate to you. And you can even ask people. You can literally post on Facebook who has struggled with getting the money to buy a washer and dryer. Why are they so expensive? Or that one that's like, what's one thing, what is it? What's one thing as an adult you didn't know was expensive until you became an adult? And mine was for real rugs. Like rugs are high. So posts like that, like you can see what people like consider expensive and stuff like that. So just get your mind, I guess, going about that. If you feel like you've shared your story too much, it's not relatable, it's not like full of struggles enough, if that makes sense. Like if you feel that way and you're in a decent situation or whatever, just look back. It doesn't matter if it was 10 years ago. Everybody has struggled with something that thousands of other people can relate to, and break it down into 4 different things. That way it's not just all clumped into one. You might have dealt with divorce whenever you were younger. You might have dealt with like other childhood traumas, not like, you know, it doesn't have to be like the deep dark stuff, but other childhood traumas or triggers or things like that that have to do with like having to up and move and up and switch schools. Like that was me. I went to 10 different schools in 12 years. So even if the rest of my life was perfect, that's traumatic enough to make me say, okay, I'm doing this business so that my kids don't have to go to 10 different schools in 12 years. See what I'm saying? Like just spinning something that simple. That could have been the only struggle I went through in my childhood. It wasn't, but it could be. And I can talk about that and how I'm making this business prevent that with my child. And then also along those lines, like I talk about the kids' school pictures and being able to afford those, because I think that we have from my childhood maybe 2 school pictures. I don't have a yearbook, like nothing. Valentine's stuff, they do like, well, they did before COVID, like Valentine's treats that you can send your kid, you know, with like $10 and they can come home with like brownies and cookies. I know Krissa was helping with carnations at their school, all those types of things I didn't get to participate in. So I'm the first one throwing my money at the school. I'm not even going to lie about stuff that I don't even care about, I don't even want, but I want my kids to be able to participate. That means a lot to me. That in and of itself is one of those 4 things. Wanting my kids to be able to play sports, wanting them to be able to do something simple like buy a $2 carnation. Those are the things that I'm working towards. So that's one of my 4. See what I mean? Like it's so simple to come up with those things. And if you guys have questions, just let me know. I know Jessica did want to, I think it was Jessica wanted to say something. So if you still want to, do you want to unmute? Or
Yep.
can you unmute? Okay.
Yep. So everyone I think pretty much knows who I am, but if you don't, I know I haven't talked to you a lot, Kiana. I haven't seen you a lot. So I just wanted to come on here. I don't even know where this is going to go. This is my new thing. I'm just shooting at the hip, just like letting it all come out. And it's working for me because honestly, I wanted to come on here tonight to just say that for a long time, not a long time, because I haven't been in the business a long time, but since I've been in the business, I felt in the beginning that I needed to make sure I was doing all the things, right? And I also felt like frustrated because I knew my potential, and it wasn't until I think the other day when I heard a podcast by Sarah Jakes Roberts where she was talking about being temporarily messy and how we all have messes in our life, and how sometimes God makes a mess after that mess so you get to the point to surrender to him. Now, I'm not here to really talk about God in general tonight, but what I'm saying is it clicked in my head that that is what people relate with, is your struggles. And this whole entire time that I've been in this business, and I'm saying this because I'm not a 4K yet. In my head though, I am a 12K. I know I am. I know my potential. Like I needed to cut the shit because honestly, like I'm going to get real right now and I'm going to get vulnerable with you guys. One of the things that I did today was I had to set that boundary with someone on my team that wasn't stepping up. They're no longer in my chat. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I, for a long time, focused so badly on wanting that person to do all the things that I was doing, but I can't do that. And the minute I let that go, the minute I stopped focusing on the things that weren't important, and I focused on growing my business by going live on IG, by going live on Facebook, by going face to face in my stories, having more conversations today, making that my main focus today, that is what truly, I've done more today, like actually done more today to grow my business than I've done this entire time. And it's like, I don't know, it's so weird. Like, I don't even know how to put it into words, but if anyone is here and they feel like they're still on the hamster wheel, because this opportunity is not supposed to be an opportunity that you stay on the hamster wheel in life. And if you are still on the hamster wheel, you are allowing yourself to stay there, and you are the only person that can change it. My mind completely shifted when I watched that. I listened to that podcast from Sarah Jakes Roberts and M's video, and every single leader that has the balls to be read to us, because let me tell you, and I said this in my video on the Waymaker page right before we got on the Zoom call, I said, any leader who has the balls to be read, that is literally God speaking through them to you, because there has probably been a time in your life where you have prayed so hard, God, give me a sign, stop tiptoeing around. This is literally what I said. I said, stop tiptoeing around and just show me exactly what I need to do. That person is giving you exactly what you prayed for. So be thankful for that. And I'm so freaking thankful for any of our leaders that have stepped up and done that, because they don't need to, they don't need to, but they do it because they care about us. And I get that it may sting a little bit, but honestly, what they're saying is the goddamn truth. And the only way that you're going to grow your business is if you truly cut the shit and focus on what's going to grow your business. You're going to grow your business when you do things that grow your business. It's really simple. And I had that aha moment. And it's like, once I started having conversations with people, reaching out to new people, and it didn't even have to be like, you know, when I talked this morning about having tugs on your heart, the more I've had action on the tugs on my heart, the more I get those tugs. And it's crazy how that happens, but I've had them all day, and it's crazy. The people that you're like, I feel like I need to reach out to this person. I feel like I need to say this to this person. I feel like I need to go live. You do it that second. You don't wait and sit on it. That's your opportunity right there to make a difference and impact people. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what this whole thing is about, is impacting other people, not just impacting yourself, because you can't work a business by yourself. You have to work your business with other people and impacting other people's lives. That's the whole point. And you have to do it by doing the work. You have to do it by doing the mental work. You have to do it by taking action and doing the work it takes to grow your business. Like, I'm telling you, I know, like, I could cry right now and get so emotional, but like, I know that God is using me in such a way on this platform. Like, I don't even know if that made sense to any of you, but I'm just so freaking thankful that I have this opportunity, because I know what it's like to not know where to get money for groceries. I know what it's like to fall asleep on the side of the road drunk and have someone come pick me up. I know what it's like to be at my darkest days. And if I'm not sharing how I got myself out of that, what the hell am I still here for? Like, really? If you can't share your truth and you got through all of that and you're not thankful enough that you got through that, like, what are you even here for still? God brought you through that for a reason. God put that struggle in your life so you could get through it to the light at the end of the tunnel. And the light at the end of the tunnel is your voice, so someone else can get through that tunnel. Because there are people that are laying awake at night or maybe lying on the side of the road drunk and feeling like, I don't know how I can go on. And you could be that person that could change their freaking life. Like, this is not baby stuff. And it truly just, when I say that I had the aha moment of all aha moments, like, man. All right, I'm done.
And I just want to point out what she said. You've made it through 100% of your hardest days. You're here. Hold on. There are times that you never thought you were going to make it through, and you made it through. You don't know how. I'm sure you look back and you're like, I really don't know how I got out of that situation. I don't know how I made it here, but there's a reason that you're here. There's a reason. It's not to freaking sling some vitamins, okay? That's not what you're here for. That's just part of the journey. You're here to show up and show people that as simple as you are, as basic as you are, as not called as you think that you are, you're here to show up with that. And I think that's why it like I said, I wasn't irked earlier, but like, sometimes I just want to shake you all, because I know Brittany's wanted to shake me several times too. You know what you have to do every day. It's not going to always be easy. You're not going to want to show up 24/7. You don't want to go live. You don't want to make the posts. You don't want to do content. I get it. My kids drive me, y'all seen firsthand. My kids drive me insane. That's what I do all day long. Do I have a choice though? What am I going to do? Go drop her off somewhere? True, might drop her off somewhere. I was called to be her mom. He didn't give me the child and the business and the team and then all of you all and everything else for me to take for granted. For me to say, well, I mean, it is what it is. I don't have to show up. We're all here for a reason. And I want to say that if you're not talking about this community either, you need to be. Melissa, you got something to say? I seen your hand raised. Oh, okay. And I wanted to share something just because Christina won't care. It can be as simple as just being thoughtful. I'm not saying you have to buy anybody anything, but when it comes to money, us as moms, we don't always spend money on ourselves, right? Christina was on a work with me the other day. I think it was work with me. I don't know. I think it was work with me. But she said the most simple thing. I don't have a robe. I don't know what we were talking about, but she was like, I don't have a robe. Candy went on Amazon or wherever she got it and sent Christina a robe. Why? Because that was what Candy felt called to do. She did it right then and there. It's little things. Christina didn't ask nobody for a robe. She could probably go buy herself a robe, but she's putting other things in front of that. I want you all to truly realize what you have in front of you. We're not here to yell at you and tell you that you're capable of this and that. We're here to show you. Rebecca, again, she sent Kiana some baby stuff the other day. Does she have to? No. Kiana has a whole tribe behind her, just like M. I'm sure M gets stuff from a lot of people too. You're part of something that you don't even realize like what it is. You have your eyes closed. You're not open to seeing everything that you have your hands on. And that's another thing that I'm about to end it. That's another thing that we've been normalizing. I know we've said this millions and millions of times. You're probably already tired of hearing of it, but we've been normalizing free product. They don't have to give us product. We don't have to be able to earn that for free every month. They don't have to bring out new stuff. I know it benefits them to bring out new stuff. Obviously, they're building a company and a legacy, but they don't have to let us get free products. They don't have to let us run our businesses for free. They could easily charge us every month for our back office. Other companies do it. They don't have to take care of our customers the way that they do. You can sign customers, and obviously with this new auto ship program even, you can sign customers and quit and never reach out to them again, but they're going to be taken care of. They're going to continue to get emails. They can reach out to support. Like, I didn't know this until I had seen it happen. Someone had signed, I don't know the situation, but somebody had signed a promoter and didn't help them or didn't something, and they submitted a ticket to find out what they needed to do. And corporate contacted the promoter they signed under and said, I'm not, basically, they just, I don't know how they worded it, but I read it and it said basically, like, I'm not sure what's going on or why you're not taking care of your person, but we need to figure this out. For real. They have the utmost integrity. They let us earn our product for free. They pay our car payments every single month at the second rank of the company. And this is the way that I've been putting it on an ops, like an op live. 12K is the equivalent of a manager position. You can have a job at Target, it's employee and then manager, right? That's the second rank. Do you think at Target, when somebody gets promoted to manager, they're like, oh yeah, we'll start paying your car payment now? No, they don't have to do that for us here either. I want you to, like, when you do your maybe you do your gratitude every day, but are you really thinking about all the things that you are given and that you do have and that you do get to do? You have your hands on freaking gold, an unmatched company with unmatched products. And then on top of that, we have an unmatched tribe. And guess what? You are unmatched too. You're not like anybody else. And that's what makes you you. You're unmatched. Nobody can match you. Nobody. Me and Kiana are not the same. Me and Janie are not the same. Me and Brittany are not the same. We all bring something different to the table. Unfreaking matched. Realize that and run with it. Don't overcomplicate this. Just go wake up and do what you're called to do every day. Talk about what you're called to do. If you don't want to make 50 freaking promoter posts a day or whatever opportunity posts, okay, that's fine. Make posts for you. And then people are automatically going to ask you what you're doing. Well, she works from her phone, so she's paying bills somehow. She's got all this energy. You don't even have to push the product. She's got energy at almost 10 o'clock at night. What is she doing? How is she losing so much weight? They're going to ask you. You just have to show up and give them a reason to. Okay, we held y'all longer than we usually hold y'all. Y'all know I don't like long trainings half the time, but I love y'all. Please know what you have your hands on. Please know who you are and show up as that. You're only letting down yourself and then everyone that's following you. All your Facebook friends and Instagram followers, they follow you for a reason. So realize that. Okay, I love y'all. Have a good night.